let's go to 6. Mr. Town Manager, give us your report.
I would be delighted to.
You would be.
I do want to share that today we learned that Ann Paquin, who's diligently run the Neighbor to Neighbor since 1983, will be retiring in the new year. And so the last edition that she will publish will be the December 2024 edition. And as you all know, has been a truly remarkable partner, allowing and encouraging us to post some of our most important updates in the Neighbor to Neighbor, obviously reserving prime real estate for the town manager's report, but I know she regularly posts things for the town clerk's office, the police department, and so on. I know she's working to figure out what the future of the Neighbor to Neighbor will be, but she's been a tremendous partner. So a well-deserved retirement. It's a lot of work as one person to run even a monthly print paper, but we've appreciated it. On the same note of celebrating local businesses, I'm happy to share that Newsweek has named Parley Farms the #1 apple orchard in America. Although it was published in Newsweek at the end of August, it was featured just this weekend by CBS Boston. And I would note that not only were they the #1, they were the only one from New England to make the top 10. So, remarkable there. An update on our search for Tyngsborough's next police chief. I previously reported that the town had received 12 applications for the role and offered interviews to the 5 most qualified candidates. Those interviews took place on Friday morning in front of a panel of former police chiefs, as well as the town's panel, which was an observation panel and consisted of board members Mr. Cohane and Mr. Moran, our Director of People and Culture, Bridget Bell, myself, and our retired chief, Richard Howe. Following those interviews and based on feedback from the full panel, including the search firm, we've invited 2 finalists to participate in a finalist interview later this week. I am very happy with the progress that we've made. I look forward to hopefully naming Tyngsborough's next chief in the next couple of weeks. On that same note, at the recommendation of Interim Chief of Police Sean Woods, I've promoted Sergeant Cynthia Shea to the rank of Acting Lieutenant. This promotion will allow the department to maintain adequate leadership staffing during the transition. I'll work with whoever is appointed permanent chief to determine the best staffing approach moving forward. Obviously, the board will be a part of that conversation. Sergeant Shea has served the town of Tyngsborough for more than 25 years. In the new role as acting lieutenant, she will oversee the Special Services Division, which includes the School Resource Officer Program, the Detective Bureau, and other specialty units. The Tyngsborough Police Department was awarded $14,804 from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts through the FY25 Municipal Road Safety Grant Program. Work under this grant will be directed to increasing road safety and minimizing the risk of injury or death due to motor vehicle accidents. They were also awarded $3,000 from the Department of Justice through the Bulletproof Vest program for fiscal year 25. I'm excited to share that on September 26th, Standard & Poor reaffirmed our AA+ bond rating and issued their highest credit issue rating to us for our pending $50 million bond sale for the Tyngsborough Middle School, which this board will approve in just a few items. Their affirmation cited our strong financial position, positive year-end results over multiple years, and our current very strong financial policies. This not only reflects positive on our financial position, but it ensures that the future bonds, including the one that you'll approve later, get favorable interest rates. Last week, we announced that the town had secured a very favorable 2-year contract with First Point Power for the Community Choice Power Supply Program. The pricing is lower than our current pricing, which is set to expire in November, and it's 19.1% lower than the basic rate offered by National Grid. The program, known as Energy Aggregation, was adopted in 2017, and unless a resident has specifically opted out, and we've had many iterations over the last few years where we've thrown more and more people in, you are automatically on the program. That said, if you're interested in confirming that, you can call our office and we can help you, or by looking at the supply services piece of your National Grid bill. If you see First Point Power, then you don't have to do anything. If you don't see it and you want to explore opting in, again, call our office. And these prices automatically take effect for anyone in the program. You don't have to do anything. You just sit tight and your December 2024 bills will show that better rate. On that same topic, I'm happy to share that in quarter 2 of 2024, Tyngsborough residents saved more than $340,000 total compared to National Grid supply users from that same program. Included in the correspondence and the publicly posted packet is a full report with a lot more data. As the board will remember, last year the town opted to join the Northern Middlesex Council of Governments Regional Sealer of Weights and Measures program. Unfortunately, the staff that were assigned to the program have left NIMCOG and moved on. And so while NIMCOG works to fill the position, we're working with the Massachusetts Division of Standards to contract directly with the state to provide these services. Fortunately, we fall just below the population threshold to be able to contract directly with the state, so we won't have to hire somebody, and the state will bill directly for the work that they do. As soon as NIMCOG fills the position, we'll be part of that program again. There's certainly a benefit to it. But in the meantime, a lot of these inspections are coming up, and we needed it to get done. The DPW pre-engineered steel building will finally go out to bid beginning on October 16th. The town will hold a pre-bid conference on October 23rd, and bids will be due on November 6th. The project is funded, as this board is aware, by a $450,000 capital asset appropriation from fiscal year '24, as well as matching funds from the Sewer Enterprise Fund, which is proportional to the size of the building reserved for their use. We were fortunate that we still had leftover funding from a $100,000 earmark to cover the full cost of the design of the building. So every dollar that we have from capital and the Sewer Enterprise Fund will go directly to the actual construction. And the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection has awarded nearly $200,000 from their Small and Disadvantaged Public Water Suppliers grant program to help address PFAS for 2 large housing developments, including the River Crossing condominiums and the Greens Housing Complex. Both projects are served by the Tyngsborough Water District. Cap.
All right. Last week, the town manager awarded the Scribner Road Culvert replacement project to J.J. Phelan and Sons. Work under this project is expected to begin at the end of the month. The Wreaths Across America event will be held again this year on December 14th. Last year was the first year the town hosted this event, and we had an excellent turnout. For those who don't know, this is a community-wide affair that honors the memory of our veterans by laying wreaths on their grave. We are currently looking for volunteers to help lay wreaths on December 14th, and if you're interested in volunteering, please contact me. My contact information is listed here. If you're looking to purchase wreaths or donate, you can also visit the link in the town manager's report. And that's all I have.
Questions, comments from the board? Let me start. Select Person Cohen, give you a chance to start.
No,
This time.
I'm all set.
Okay, Select Person Guilford. I just like to mix it up.
Make me think that we're trying to get out of here. Yeah, just grateful for Colin guiding me through my National Grid bill. I did not know where to find that, so we spoke and he guided me through. Recommend that other people do the same. Sad and excited for Ann Paquin that she's retiring. What a service that is to our community. I mean, it's really a tremendous, I can't imagine the labor of love that must be, because that is a real load. So thank you and goodbye, Ann. So sorry. Kat, I had a question about the Wreaths Across America. Which cemeteries do we lay in?
I believe all of the cemeteries.
Awesome.
Last year was all of them.
Great.
Yes.
I think that's it.
Yeah, I think there, I know I did my donation for wreaths. You're looking for, I did it last year, fantastic, great event, great community, solemn event. I think it's something that is fantastic in town. I know that other towns nearby are trying to emulate it, because I know Pam Russell has done a ton to pull that together, and I think it's a fantastic event. Encourage people to do that. Piggybacking on what you just said, because it had me thinking of something right before that, but I don't know whether this is Council on Aging or something. I'd like to see if we can have something for residents to come in and ask questions about their bill, right? And sit there and say, because you had a question about the bill, right? And that's an easy one. But I know that there are residents out there that sit there and go, why did I have my electric bill is 3 times what it was before? And have us be able to say, well, let's take a look at it and see, maybe it's they're not getting the aggregation rate. Or, you know what? National Grid has a program where you can get a free assessment to see. You might have something that's got a big draw. I had a situation with my nephew, didn't realize, he was a renter, didn't realize he was paying for the 2 other units in there, and he just was paying the bill. I'm thinking if the issue is people with utilities and things like that, and we have people, it could be utilities, it could be their bill, right? It could be their tax bill. And explain to me my tax bill. I got this thing, what the heck is this CPA, stuff? Could we put something together where people can come in and ask those types of questions? And I know that Town Hall has available resources. I don't know if people feel as welcome there because it might not be, it's people that work for the town
the
versus
information.
peers, you know, get people to maybe volunteer. I'm spitballing here.
Certainly on the tax thing, on a daily basis, we have a handful of residents every day that come into town hall looking for explanations on their tax bill. And whether it's our tax office or the assessor's office, they get great answers. I will be honest, I'm weary of having town staff try to explain a national grid bill. As a national grid user myself,
Yep.
I just pay what is on the bill and I assume they're right because what do I
units
know?
next door.
But to that point, though, to the point you made, very valid about energy programs, we have information that CTI puts together. Obviously, Tyngsborough doesn't have a social work office, but we can do a better job of making sure that information about those energy saving programs, the rebates, and we started doing this the last couple of years and we do a good job at it, even on our tax bill side, the abatements that are available, the exemptions. So point well taken, and certainly we can rethink how we're not just marketing the programs we offer, but making sure our outreach workers that we now have 2 at the Council on Aging and our materials that are available for residents when it comes to resources fully integrate all of those areas so that people know here's what I can get. As far as the energy aggregation, we'll post another sample bill that shows what they should have, and we'll do a hard copy at the Council on Aging as well. Again, fortunately, this board went to great lengths at least 3 times in the last couple of years to negotiate with the company to just throw everybody back in. So I think we're at a good point, but those are all certainly very valid points that we can work on.
If I could just follow up on that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, I have 2 examples. One, a few weeks ago, I was at work and 3 of my coworkers were talking about their energy bill, and we all opened up our national grid bills on our phones and compared rates. Tyngsborough had the best rate.
Thank you.
Very proud. I bragged. And exactly, like, I had a friend that was paying, I mean, just an exorbitant amount and needed to explore what that was because it didn't make sense. Also, just this weekend, I spoke to another resident about whether she was enrolled in this program. And I said, you would have had to opt out because Colin and I had talked about it. And she did mention the clean energy choice. Can you speak to that just a little bit? The
Sure.
difference between those 2 programs?
Sure, one is more expensive, but one of the things that the aggregation program has evolved over the course of the last couple of years is there are residents who are willing to pay more than the going rate that I just talked about to ensure that they're getting their energy completely from clean energy sources. That one, the rates fluctuate more frequently and you are paying higher. That one you would have had to specifically opt into. So we would never throw somebody into that category. You would enroll first in our basic program, and then in the communications where it says you've been enrolled, you'd be able to opt into the renewable wind. Now, if you opted in originally in that, you will stay in that category unless you contact Colonial Power or us, and we can connect you with Colonial Power to go back to the cheaper basic services rate. But that's a very good point. There is a renewable option for those that are interested.
Thank you for clarifying that. I am grateful for the people who are willing to pay more for clean energy. I am not that person. So, thank you.
And the only thing to add on that, Colin, if when you're speaking with your other towns, I find that people are very eager to share information on social media and ask questions, and I don't know that they're getting good answers on some of those. Perhaps we have an opportunity to tap into that maybe coming into town hall or calling town hall or even going to the Council on Aging to get some of that. Is there a way that we can do it through social media? Just I sit there and go, I don't know what the potential downsides are, but I feel that people are very eager to share their thoughts on social media. Maybe there's a way that we can do that. Because I just look at it and say, people are, they're dealing with it and they're complaining about it. And it might be, guess what? Stuff is more expensive. It is. I didn't like my electric bill and I didn't like my water bill when it came and I didn't like my tax bill, but as long as it's right, you sit there and go, okay, I'm making a decision there.
There's been quite a lot of, I think, really good, productive conversations on Facebook recently. Conversations about the bridge in the center of town, and I asked Colin for some follow-up about that because I want to make sure that I give them the right information. Conversations about Enclave and just housing production stuff. So, really productive things that I think are meaningful to our residents, and being able to give them the right answers and the right resources that tie back to what we're working on and what the town's doing, yeah, I totally support.
Awesome. All right.